This is the EBO Commuter Kit from Electric Bike Outfitters. This is a company out of Denver, Colorado. Kind of been working on it for the past couple years, but it's really launched just now in mid-2015. This is a cool kit because it's relatively affordable and you have a lot of different options. So it's $704. Comes with the motor, it comes with the battery, you got the trigger throttle, the brake levers with motor inhibitors, kind of everything you need, the little control box, and then you adapt it to your existing bicycle or maybe one you purchased. So this is a Pure City Cycles, kind of a steel frame, more affordable, but it's still, $400 bicycle. So, for something like $1,100, $1,200 with tax and stuff, you're getting a relatively capable electric bike, especially when you look at the motor size and the battery size on this thing. This is a 350 watt internally geared hub motor, and you can have it rear mounted or front mounted. It's completely up to you. They can also do it like single speed, or you can go 6, 7, 8, or 9 speed cassettes. This is an 8 speed, which I'm not as, it's not as common. I don't see that quite as often, but it's neat that they offer that. And you can see the motors just sort of hiding behind that gear cluster, and see it a little bit more on the other side. I was doing some weighing earlier. This entire setup as is about 45 pounds. Not too bad at all. The battery, 5.5 pounds, and this is a 36 volt, 11 amp hour cell, or kind of a pack there. The motor, I estimate it's between 5 and 6 pounds. I weighed a wheel, single speed wheel with a motor spoked in, and that was about 8.5 pounds. Wheels tend to be about 4 pounds with the hub, so you kind of do the math. Again, 45 pounds all together for this bike right here. That's not too bad. Not super heavy. Definitely good for commuting to have those different gears to be able to pedal with. You've got the rack, you've got the fenders. Kind of neat to see that. Like that's the beauty of a kit, is that you can adapt the bike that you have and maybe kind of dip your toes into electric bikes and decide if you want to go all the way or not. One of the limits though with this kit is that you only get kind of a basic LED console with a trigger throttle, right? There are options to upgrade from Electric Bike Outfitters and get a Cadence Sensing pedal assist, but this kit doesn't come with that. So you're going to end up spending a little bit more money. And you can also upgrade the battery and, get an LCD and stuff. That's one of the things they offer, is just like a wide variety of accessories. But this kit, as it stands, is just the motor, the battery, and a trigger throttle. So again, I'm gonna hit the specs again real quick. It's an internally geared 350 watt hub motor, and the benefit of that is it's going to be a little bit lighter than a gearless hub motor, a little bit smaller, more compact, but you do hear it a little bit more. You can hear it kind of when it's starting. It also, because there are moving parts and stuff, there might be more tendency for wear over time. And if you do it on the rear like this, I think that's where I tend to put it. I like that they offer this mid-mounted battery because it sort of spreads the weight out. If you put that motor on the front, you are going to impact steering just a little bit. There's going to be extra weight, but it's a little bit easier to set up because you're just running one wire up from there versus having to deal with the extra cables and stuff for shifters and the sprockets and everything. But again, this is where you benefit most from having the traction. A lot of your body weight tends to be towards the back of the bike when you ride. So here's the controller. This is what receives the signal from the trigger throttle and from the battery power, and then sends it to the motor. So pretty small, pretty discreet on this bike. People always use black bikes for their demos when I'm doing reviews, because all the cables and stuff sort of blend in. But you can see in this case there aren't a ton of cables, and they're pretty well fastened down here. But that's going to be one of the trade-offs with any kit. Okay, so the motor itself here, it's got an EBO sticker on it for Electric Bike Outfitters, but I think it's just generic. This isn't 8Fun. It's not a motor I've seen or heard of. In fact, there was really no label anywhere, so it might not be quite as durable. And again, it does produce a little bit more noise over time. And the battery that comes with this bike, it's just generic cells. These aren't Samsung or Panasonic or other higher quality cells, but they are lithium-ion, so they're a little bit lighter. Again, 5.5 pounds for this pack. It does fit nicely onto the down tube. Does take up probably, definitely the down tube bottle cage mounting position, and it kind of blocks the one on the seat tube as well. So you might not be able to carry a bottle. I noticed that in terms of connecting this battery, it's real easy to just kind of, unlock it and pop it on or pop it off. But when you're plugging it in for power, you actually have to like put this on each time. So if you take the battery pack off, you have to go in here and kind of unscrew this, take it off before you can pop it off. That's a little bit of a hassle. It's definitely longer than the packs that just sort of click in and click out because you have to screw that in. However, you can charge this battery pack on the bike right here with this little, standard, I think it's like a 2-pound, almost looks like a laptop charger. So pretty portable, kind of what you'd expect. Does have a built-in power level measuring system with these LEDs up here. You do have to turn the battery pack on with this toggle switch and then come up here and turn the bike on there. So it is a 2-step process, but not terrible. It works out. And what I love about this is even though you've got a generic motor, you've got a generic battery pack, they offer like a 30-day kind of a money-back guarantee. And then beyond that, you can still even, it seems like, change your mind if you decide, I really want a front motor, or I want to upgrade my battery, or I want a twist throttle, because they do offer that, but it's not a stock option. They just have upgrades. If you want some of that stuff, it seems like they'll work with you, and there's sort of a 1-year comprehensive warranty on all this stuff. So not bad for a company that's relatively new. The guy, Jason, who started this, has been doing engineering for like 15 years and was working at another company and with like printer hardware and different stuff, and got into electric bikes as something as like a personal interest, and has applied himself and kind of tinkered with the motors to offer different widths on the axles. So you can go 100 millimeter, 120, 130, 135. So there's a lot of flexibility. And the wheel size, you can go from, I think 16 up to 20, 24, 26, 27.5, or 700C, which is like 28 inches. And that's what we got here. It's a 700C, 700 by 35C wheel set, which is pretty traditional for commuters and city bikes. So very cool. A lot to say, a lot to share, because there are so many options here. But not bad. Again, $704 for this bike. I'm just going to hop on and let you hear what it sounds like. We've already activated everything. Just kick up that kickstand. We do have a bit of a hill right here. You can see that person climbing it. And I'm just going to, see what this motor can do. I'm not going to pedal. I'm just going to throttle it, and we'll see how it goes. Working pretty well. Definitely climbing. Not bad at all. Woo! It's always fun and nice to see something like that working well. Again, 350 watt nominal for that motor, 36 volt battery. I think he also offers a 250 watt motor. So if you're someone who lives in a region that's more restrictive, parts of Europe where they limit your motor power, you can go ahead and select that option. So I'm gonna pedal a little bit more. And there's not a whole lot to demo here because it is just a trigger throttle, but I tend to like this option versus a twist throttle, because as you can see here, I've already got my sort of grip twister shifter going on. I don't want to interfere with that. And over here we've got a bell and a nice leather grip, so everything kind of matches as is, and the trigger throttle stays out of the way. But there's a little bit of a reach going on right here, and over time, if you're pushing down, it can get a little bit tiring. So that's one of the trade-offs. Again, I think they'll work with you and do like a twist throttle if you want, and then you can get the Cadence Sensor option, kind of an upgrade, and that just makes it where you can just pedal and the bike automatically senses it. And if saving money is your goal here, well, then the trigger throttle and this basic commuter system is the way to go. So here's another little hill. Let's do another little ride test. Struggling a little bit at first. Definitely once you get going, and especially if you help out a little bit, you pedal, that's the way to climb. That's really your best bet. But not bad. I'm impressed, and there are a couple other companies out there, like Lead and Clean Republic, that offer kits. I think these guys Electric Bike Outfitters have a really good warranty, and they have just a ton of options. And so that's what really attracted me initially. And this commuter kit could be a great way to get into electric cycling if you're new. So for the full write-up on this and other electric bikes, I'll see you back at ElectricBikeReview.com. Ride safe.